In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 foods to include in your diet to help you to clear high-risk HPV to negative and prevent high-risk HPV-related cancer such as cervical cancer and vaginal cancer. I know how confusing it can be to try to figure out what to eat and what not to eat. And once you realize that your food that you're feeding your body each day can be your medicine and actually help you to prevent health issues, then you start to realize, hey, I want to know what I should be choosing and how to find foods that are going to do the most good for you. So I'm so glad you found this video and to help you to identify 5 important foods to include in your diet. I'm Dr. Donnie Wilson. I'm a naturopathic doctor, clinical nutritionist, and midwife. I've been practicing for over 25 years and specialize in women's health, in particular helping women with abnormal pap smears, as well as humans with various different health issues. So I want to emphasize that these food choices are going to help your health overall. And so it's not that we have to only eat these foods if you have abnormal cells or high-risk HPV. It's that we can choose these foods and it's going to help your overall health, because when it comes down to it, most often when women are testing positive for high-risk HPV, they are also dealing with other health issues in their body, whether that's digestive issues, skin issues, weight issues, anxiety, depression, mental health issues, sleep issues, maybe autoimmunity, or other health issues. So I want you to know that these same foods we're going to cover today will help you with any of those health issues. And as a priority, we want to help your immune system to protect you from high-risk HPV so you can clear it to negative and prevent it from coming back again. So as I talk through these 5 foods, I'm going to be referring to 5 strategies that are included in these foods. That's how they rose to the top of my list of 5 favorite foods, because they address these 5 strategies. One is they include ways to drop inflammation. Inflammation in our body increases our risk of cancer. Inflammation in our body increases our risk of many other health issues. So we want to choose foods that can drop inflammation, which is also going to be able to prevent HPV from causing abnormal cells. Number 2 is we want to choose foods that are high in antioxidants. Antioxidants are cell protectors. They protect our cells from stress, from toxins, and from high-risk HPV virus. So antioxidants are a really good thing. We're going to look for those in these 5 foods. The third thing is we want to choose foods that are nutrient dense. Whatever we swallow and put into our bodies, we want to make sure it's filled with as many nutrients as possible so we can be efficient with getting nutrients into our body that help our immune system to function better, to help our cells function better, help our liver function better. So we want healthy nutrients in our foods. The fourth thing is we want to be looking for foods that help the liver to detoxify. The liver has a big job to help us to deal with any toxins we're exposed to in our food, water, air, or otherwise through our skin. And the liver also helps us detoxify estrogen and any other chemicals or medications that we consume. So we want to support the liver to have healthy detoxification, because we know that that also helps you to clear HPV. And the 5th thing we're looking for in these foods is to help support our healthy gut microbiome, because we know that the healthy gut microbiome will help you to have a healthy vaginal microbiome, and they both will help protect you from high-risk HPV. So we want to be eating foods that feed the healthy bacteria, not overfeed them and not underfeed them, but we want to be eating foods that help feed those bacteria so that they can help protect you. Sound good? So the first food that I would like to cover is cruciferous vegetables. Now, maybe you've heard of the word cruciferous vegetables. It's really a category of food. And I would say when you think of cruciferous, think of green vegetables. So this includes leafy greens like spinach, kale, and even arugula. It also includes broccoli, and cabbage, and also Brussels sprouts and leeks, and all of these green foods. You see what I mean? They all are in the category of cruciferous vegetables. And in that category of cruciferous vegetables, we find a bunch of good things. For one, they contain a lot of nutrients. They contain vitamins like vitamin A, C, E, K, and they also contain minerals like magnesium, calcium, potassium, and even iron. So you can get almost like a whole multivitamin in your cruciferous vegetables. Also, in these cruciferous vegetables, you get fiber. The fiber helps keep your bowels moving, and it helps feed the good bacteria. And in cruciferous vegetables, there's something called glucosinolates, and these help also with cancer prevention. Plus, in broccoli in particular are the sulforaphane, is what I want to say. Sulforaphane is a substance, especially in broccoli, that is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and really protective from cancers of different types, including cervical cancer. So cruciferous vegetables do contain sulfur. There's a sulfur compound, and sulfur can also be anti-cancer, and it can help the liver with detoxification. So there are so many good things about cruciferous vegetables. It's not that you need to have cruciferous vegetables at every meal, but I would aim to have at least one cruciferous vegetables every day. That might mean a salad with spinach or arugula. That might mean having cooked greens like kale or chard, or a vegetable like broccoli or cauliflower. Even though cauliflower is not green, it is still a cruciferous vegetable, or Brussels sprouts with your dinner. So these are ways you can get these cruciferous vegetables into your food, into your diet. I would absolutely recommend choosing organic whenever possible. You can get organic cruciferous vegetables so that you're not getting exposed to toxins while you're helping your body to detoxify. You don't want to get exposed to more toxins, right? So this is one food to choose, is any of those cruciferous vegetables that you prefer, and even try a variety if you can. You know, sometimes it's nice to be able to try this one day or this week, and then a different cruciferous vegetable the next time you go to the grocery store. Okay, so the next food that I would include to help you fend off high-risk HPV are berries, in particular blueberries, and my favorite is wild organic blueberries, and I buy them frozen because actually when berries are frozen, it activates the ingredients and makes it even more accessible to human. So even better is to buy your berries frozen. I know sometimes you would think, oh, better to get fresh berries, and that's always wonderful to get fresh berries, but sometimes they go bad quickly. And I also like frozen because they don't go bad. They can stay in your freezer for as long as you need until you use them. So I also like the idea of rotating through different berries like strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. All of these berries definitely contain vitamin C. And vitamin C is a nutrient that as humans, we cannot produce it ourselves. So we need vitamin C from our diet. And one of the best ways to get vitamin C, in addition to the cruciferous vegetables, is from berries. So you want to be, again, choosing organic. Berries also contain more fiber. They're one of the best ways to feed our gut bacteria is with berries. In fact, there's research to show that blueberries have been able to reduce cervical cancer risk. And I believe it's because they contain vitamin C, which helps the immune system fend off HPV. They also contain antioxidants called anthocyanins, and they contain fiber to feed your good bacteria to support your microbiome. So there's numerous reasons why berries are helping us to prevent cervical cancer and fend off HPV. They also contain minerals like potassium, magnesium, manganese, and more. So this is another one that I would include on your grocery shopping list. And again, in particular, I love the wild blueberries, but also a variety is a good thing, including cranberries. By the way, cranberries also count You can even get dried cranberries. I would just watch out because some dried cranberries are sweetened with a lot of sugar, and we don't want to be adding a lot of sugar. So if you get dried cranberries, just try to get them with no sweetener or only a natural fruit sweetener in them.
Have you been dealing with high-risk HPV virus and potentially abnormal cells on your pap smear result? I'm Dr. Donnie Wilson, naturopathic doctor and midwife, and I've been helping thousands of women over the past 24 years to help them clear the HPV virus to negative and prevent cervical cancer, and I would love to teach you as well. I invite you to join me at my next free 5-day online workshop. I'm going to be teaching you all about HPV. I'll teach you all about understanding your pap smear results, clearing HPV to negative, and help you to understand what's making you susceptible to this virus in the first place. Just click on the link down below, and it will guide you to join me at the very next workshop, where I'm going to be able to guide you to create your healing plan to get rid of HPV. I look forward to seeing you there in the workshop.
Okay, ready for the third one? The third food to choose is actually usually a drink, and that's green tea. I've included this because there's so much amazing research about how green tea can help us to fend off high-risk HPV and is anti-cancer for cervical cancer as well as many other types of cancer. So the thing with green tea, again, is I absolutely would choose organic green tea. And you can choose different kinds. You can get matcha, you can get jasmine, you can get sencha, you can get any different kind of green tea, but definitely get organic. You can, whenever you're getting tea, be careful of the tea bag. So if you get tea in a tea bag, make sure it's a compostable tea bag, meaning that it's plant-based, it's not plastic, right? If we have a tea bag that's made of plastic, now we're consuming plastics. So get a non-plastic tea bag or get loose tea that you put in a strainer and make your tea that way. So the reason that green tea is so good is it, again, contains these antioxidants. In the case of green tea and in the case of berries, they're called flavonoids. Green tea also contains catechins. That's the one that you might see referred to as EGCG, which is a catechin specific to green tea. There's polyphenols. Green tea also contains theanine. Maybe you've heard about theanine, THEANINE, which is calming to the nervous system. Green tea also contains vitamin C, potassium, calcium, so it has some vitamin C and minerals in it, in addition to all of these powerful antioxidants. So think of green tea as really about protecting your cells with antioxidants. It also helps the liver to detoxify and does so many amazing things in that way. So you can drink, I would say, to aim for even 3 or 4 cups of organic green tea per day if you can, or you can get a supplement that contains organic green tea. Now, some people are very sensitive to the caffeine in green tea because it does contain caffeine. You can get decaf green tea. I would just be careful because you want to make sure that the decaffeination process that they're using is not using chemicals. So try to get the healthiest type of decaffeinated green tea. And or when you get it in capsules, it usually does not contain only minuscule amount of caffeine. So I usually find that when patients take a capsule form of green tea, that they are not having sensitivity reactions to the caffeine. But of course, start small and know your body, because like with anything, we have to know that your body might respond differently than someone else's body. So always listen to your body and what your body feels good with, what resonates with your system and your body, and what quantity works for you. And this is true for everything, green tea and everything else that I'm talking about. Okay, the fourth food that I want to highlight is really 2. There's onion and garlic. And I'm putting the onion and garlic together because they're from the same group, the same family called the allium family, and they also contain organosulfur compounds. So in this allium family of garlic and onion, they that's part of how they're functioning as a way to support our liver, again with those sulfur compounds. Sulfur is really important for a lot of other processes in the body. They also contain antioxidants, including an antioxidant called quercetin, which you may have heard of, which is also anti-inflammatory. So garlic and onions can drop inflammation. They can increase antioxidants. They also feed our good bacteria. So this is another great way to make sure you're feeding good bacteria. And keep in mind that certain bacteria are going to prefer the cruciferous vegetables, certain bacteria are going to prefer berries, and certain bacteria are going to prefer the allium vegetables. So you're going to want to choose all of these different foods so that you're feeding diverse types of bacteria in your gut. The allium or garlic and onion also contain vitamin C. So again, we're trying to support your immune system and your immune function to ability to protect you from HPV, as well as they contain B6, vitamin B6, and manganese. That reminds me, I don't think I mentioned back in the cruciferous vegetables, one of the other nutrients that's contained in cruciferous vegetables, for example, with broccoli and spinach, is folate, which is vitamin B9. So B9, folate or B9 is specifically important for helping to grow new healthy cells. So whenever you're dealing with high-risk HPV, that's our main goal, is we want to help you to grow new healthy cells. So we need methylfolate or activated B9 folate to help protect your cells. And when you get a food source of folate, it's already in an active form. The issue is when we choose packaged foods like cereals and crackers and things like that, then usually the type of folate that is used is folic acid, which is an inactive form. So this really emphasizes why it's so much better if you can choose food from the earth, like the cruciferous vegetables, because they contain folate that the human body can use to help protect you. So there we go. So the vitamin B9, which is folate, is in the cruciferous vegetables, and B6 is in the onions and garlic. Okay, so next food on our list is actually a healthy fat, because when you think about it, the foods that we consume are going to have three main components. The foods are going to contain carbohydrates, which is what's in vegetables and fruits, which we've been talking about. The foods also contain fats, and we want to choose healthy fats, such as flaxseed oil. We're going to talk about that. And then the third thing in food that we need is protein. So I'm going to emphasize that we also need to be getting adequate amounts of protein, and I often find that women are not getting enough protein. So I want to mention that and let you know that I will do a whole separate video about protein, because protein is so important and has a whole conversation in itself. So the fifth food that I want to highlight today is a healthy fat known as flaxseed oil. Now, a lot of people wonder, is that the same as flax seeds? Now, flax seeds are also wonderful. Round flax seeds are a great source of fiber. So again, fiber is good for feeding our good bacteria and keep our bowels moving. So yes, ground flax seeds are a good thing, but you're not going to get very much of the healthy fats from the ground flax seeds. So that's why we would choose the actual oil, and you can purchase flaxseed oil, most health food stores, in the refrigerator. It is best to keep it refrigerated because it can go rancid easily, and it's not used in cooking. It's used usually raw. I put it in a protein shake. You could use it in a salad dressing. The reason that the flaxseed oil, I find, is so important is because it's so good as an anti-inflammatory fat. Now, I usually also recommend omega-3 fats, which are usually from a fish source or algae source. You can get omega-3 supplements. So this is to say we need to be getting omega-3 from fish. You can get it from fish like salmon or from a supplement. And we want to get flaxseed oil, which is a plant-based form of what's known as alpha-linoleic acid, or ALA, which turns into or can be turned into omega-3 by our bodies. Now, we each have our own genetic ability to turn ALA into omega-3 in our bodies. And so that's a factor that could come into play. However, what I find is ALA is beneficial no matter how well your body turns it into omega-3, because ALA, fatty acids or healthy fats, are anti-inflammatory in the body. And a lot of times we're getting omega-6 or fats that are actually inflammatory to the body, like canola oil and other soy oils or palm oils, which are not healthy fats. So when we consume flaxseed oil, we're shifting the percentages over to healthy anti-inflammatory fats. And so I'm talking about maybe a teaspoon to a tablespoon per day as of organic flaxseed oil to help improve your anti-inflammatory status using healthy fats. So I know we covered a lot in one video. I'm hoping you were taking notes, and I welcome you to join me here on this channel or at How Humans Heal for the next video, where I will be happy to cover more information. I will also put the link down below where you can come to my website and listen to other videos, including a HPV masterclass, as well as a how to get rid of HPV online free workshop, so that you can learn so much more from me about what you can do to increase your chances of clearing HPV to negative and preventing HPV-related cancer, as well as just improving your health overall. As I mentioned, by the time we go through these 5 foods, you'll see how they're going to help you drop inflammation, increase your antioxidants, to be able to improve your nutrient intake into your body each day as you're consuming foods, as well as feeding your gut bacteria and helping your liver to detoxify, right? I love it when we can multitask with our foods. So this is why these foods rose to the top of my 5 foods to include to help you protect yourself from high-risk HPV and many other health issues. And I am so glad you joined me. I would love to hear from you. Just comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already. I welcome you to join me for the next video, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Thanks for listening to How Humans Heal. If you liked this episode, leave a rating and a review. And for more resources, visit drdonnie.com.